but boy, looking at that yesterday, that was hard to see as a non-DQ. The Annex, the one, I think was the horse that made the trouble, winds up second. And that they, as I say, they looked for a long time
and who was on the
made
6?
No decision.
Who was on the 6?
Luis Saez was on the 6 original.
Everybody go get Luis and go, well, what did you see happen? Because at that point, you're just going to have opinions because they don't set a record. But it's like, I had my path. You saw it. He come over and dropped me. I said, well, do you claim a foul? What did you tell the stewards? And what did the one say? But we don't need to have this conjecture.
Yeah.
We don't need it at all.
You're right. The technology is there. Yeah.
Technology was there in 1980. It's like, hit the mic. Ed Sullivan was on 60 years ago.
You're right.
Technology. Maybe the drones going around above them is the new technology affordably, but you have the drones going above the horses all the time. It's got to be very affordable.
We'll jump into it a little quickly. Talking Horses a little early, Naira, because we do have an early post time at 12:35. So Talking Horses will go on at 11. But also, I have a couple of trainers. I have top of the hour, Brett Calhoun, who of course has By My Standards. We're going to get Ken McPeak in here with Swiss Skydiver. But with trainers and being sales week, they wanted to kind of wrap up a little bit early, so head over to the sales. Ken did. So we're going to try to maybe start racing across America just a couple of minutes early too. So we'll jump into the Saturday card.
So just in case Steve Bick's watching the show, that's
right.
That's your cue.
You will be a little early.
All right, the opener, 2-year-old maiden special weights, a mile 16th on the inner turf course.
3, 2, 5, and 6.
Oh, this is horrible.
But I wouldn't argue with the 7 either. Oh, you had the same.
Same.
How am I winding up? That's like the 4th time.
But you're the one not in your lane. I'm the one still in my lane. You're the one blind switching.
It could you may be right here. But morning thoughts. Brian Lynch, he's okay with first-time starters. This horse worked 21.3 before the March sale. There's a sibling called Dominga that won its career debut. So I thought there was a little bit to go with win early breeding, the nice workout, Jose Ortiz on board. So I tilted in that direction. Dripping Gold, another first-time starter, another auction sale at that March OBS, worked 10.1 before attracting $300,000. There's a sibling called Aurelius Bell that won its career debut. So similar scenario for both of those. And then Boston Flagship. Experience counts, and of those with experience, I thought this one was nice for Bill Mott in the career debut, one to build on. There's a sibling called Bronco Sally, 4th, then 7th, but one starts 3 and 4, so I thought that said a little bit win early as well. So I have a 3, 2, 5, and 6.
And you thought about, you mentioned the 7, I'll mention the 8 making the 3rd career start. Apparently your love was just for Jonathan Shepard and not Augustin Stables.
Well, there was one the other day that I looked at coming up, had that Augustin Shepard style of a couple of races in the Mid-Atlantic, and then but I hadn't used it in my picks, but as I was standing over on the front side, I said sentimentally so I walked up to the window and played it, but it didn't come in, but it had that scenario, and so I'm still watching that, certainly. Second race today at Saratoga. It's a plain vanilla $50,000 claimer. 9 furlongs is the trip.
And we'll go through the non-6 pretty quickly, but 5, 6, 2, and I'll touch on my top pick, Ford Peck for Robertino Diodoro, who claimed this horse for $65,000 at the Churchill Downs Spring Summer Meet. His horse had good success going 2-turn races last year, wrapping up the season, whether it be at Churchill Downs or Keeneland. I'm hoping that 2-turn success with his offspring of Fort Larned. Obviously, a very, very sharp trainer. Claimed for $12,500 more, but I think that's immaterial when the purse is $72,000. Fort Peck for the upset for me underneath. Todd Pletcher's runner the 6th with Flavian Prat in town, and for 3rd, American Tattoo, Norm Cassie, 5, 6, 2 in the 2nd.
Speaking of Norm Cassie, I haven't watched it all yet, but the Hall of Fame replay is up, and what I've heard of the speeches so far, it was quite a day yesterday. Certainly worth checking out. I linked to it over on Equidaily, the replay, so you can check it there. But Mark Cassie and Todd Pletcher and whatnot, everybody, great reviews on the morning yesterday in the Hall of Fame. I have this one 1, 4, 5, and 3. I put Journeyman on top for Mike Maker. It's Mike Maker and Luis Saez.
The 6-horse field. We got them all.
We're pretty well. We
got 6 of them.
But I thought, again, you have the meet leading trainer and jockey. And now as a team, they're not necessarily that potent, but I do think they they lend a little confidence to the equation. You add in a little dip of class relief. I think Journeyman is very playable. Heirloom Kitten in the second spot. Jose Ortiz with a horse that has a little bit of early speed. I like the confident jump up a step up the claiming ladder off the claim, and then I did use Fort Paquette's Robertino Diodoro off a claim. A little bit of class relief, but I think you look down the page, this is right in the wheelhouse. The $72,000 purse certainly mitigates that step down the claiming ladder, so I don't think you have to be concerned there. Second race at Saratoga, 1, 4, 5, and 3.
On to the third entry-level allowance, running for $103,000 purse, going 6 furlongs.
2, 4, 5, and 3. I put Tuggle on top. Jeremiah Engelhardt trainee. Showed some flashes of talent early in the career. This is a lately raced 4-year-old. Second career start, they came out of the debut Maiden Breaker and tried the Saratoga Special and ran a decent little third behind Green Light Go. Then they went in the With Anticipation, the Pilgrim. So obviously there were some high hopes for this one early on. Went to the sidelines, only a couple of starts last year, but they were promising as well. Now it's been off over a year, or was off over a year before the return. The return, I thought, was pretty good, though, and signaled this horse is coming back in decent form. But with that race under the belt, I couldn't go past Tuggle. I put that one on top. Second spot, I used Stage Left, Wesley Ward trainee, that you kind of have to draw a line through the last race, the off-the-turfer. I was willing to do that, though, because the races just before are pretty consistent and consistently better, and maybe better than, most in here, other than a best effort by Tuggle. Third spot, Dream Bigger. Steps out of some state-bred stakes company to move into this open allowance, but has some nice positional early speed. It's Rudy Rodriguez and Luis Saez, and so that team attracted my attention as well. I have a 2, 4, 5, and 3.
I'm 3, 2, 4. New Bomb makes the third start of the year, and earlier in the meet, probably an allowance race, entry-level allowance race that many people, including yours truly, thought might have been a prep for the Alan Jerkins, but it was almost a listed stakes race, entry-level allowance. Bo Liam was making the second career start. Actually went off at even money in the race from the one hole. Did hold off the runner-up, and New Bomb got beat. But I'm very forgiving at coming out of that race into this spot. My topic. My thing for Tuggle is that his comeback race, as you said, it was very good. It was almost, the career best is a 91 buyer speed. He ran an 87. My fear is the muscle regression thing. Now he's had a lot of time, etc. But I'm not willing to find out at nearly even money, especially with New Bomb, who I think, and you don't have him in your list, who I like in Stage Left. It will be two parts of this that interest me is what Tuggle's price is, and he's going to have to, I think, move forward, because I think New Bomb is going to move forward off of that recent defeat. But intriguing third race.
Yeah, absolutely. Fourth race this afternoon, state-bred maiden specials. They're going a mile on the grass.
Of course, Tuggle might make it uninteresting. 6-5-3 for the state-breds. If I was betting $5, I would suspect this is where Steve Bick's going today. He has an angle, folks, and these New York breds rooting on the turf. 6-5-3. The 4 is an MTO in here, and on opening day, maybe it was a bridge too far, that extra 16th of a mile, or maybe that was the day. He was almost my play of the day, Seth, at almost 25-1 coming out of the previous race at Belmont, and that was where Dancing with the Stars, who's in tomorrow, came up the rail, giving Luis Saez his 3-bagger for the day. Sometimes, the first inclination might be, well, 16th of a mile less is good for a horse that's tired. Well, sometimes the pace gets to be worse, and I had it the way that I wanted it and wasn't able to get the job done. And today we're going to be about 1/3 the price, but the 6 is on top for second. Coming out of the same races 2 in a row is Ruse, going out for Tim Hills, has hit the board in both starts since January, and for third, Sandro the Great, number 3, adding blinkers today for Tom Bush. I came back after an 11-month layoff. I think that was just a warm-up race, draws well. 6-5-3.
I went 9, 2, 5, and 10. I put Shutters on top. Got stormy, this year. 19 first-time starters, only 1 win and a third, so there's not a lot of win early there, but I went more with the connections. There's a sibling that was okay, Nantucket Red, a third in debut, then fourth, then won the third start. But again, it's Chad Brown, and the horses, none of the workouts really jump off the page, but it's a steady string of workouts. I don't think this is a field of world beaters. So fresh face from potent win early connections. We put Shutters on top. Another firster, Sportini, goes out for Michael Stidham. He's okay with firsters. Comes out of a nice work down a fair hill that seems okay, and then Ruse in the third spot. The first couple of starts, well, there was a little bit of a layup from January to June, but the first couple of starts on the return have been decent, and I think have this horse maybe primed in the third start back for even better of an effort today, so we'll use that one as well. 9, 2, 5, and 10.
And we're up to our first break on Whitney Day. When we come back, more from Saratoga.
A day at the track isn't complete without a night at the Horseshoe. Great food, hot music, and cold drinks. So why go downtown when all the action's just across from the track? The Horseshoe Inn at the corner of Nelson and Gridley.
Nato said he was over there.
Capital OTB is now streaming live on Roku. The RTN Racing channel on Roku lets you watch OTB TV live through your Roku device or your Amazon Fire Stick, rather than being limited to computers and mobile devices, which means you can now watch OTB live wherever you are. Simply open Roku, scroll to find the RTN channel, then click on OTB TV. OTB TV on Roku. Try it now.
Where's the best place to find your favorite teams, your favorite food, daily drink specials, and wagering on live horse racing? Legends Field Sports Bar, 711 Central Avenue, Albany. Get your game on day or night with 75 flat-screen TVs, tournament-style pool tables, a private banquet room, and live horse racing. So if someone asks you, where's the best sports bar in the Capital Region? Tell them Legends Field Sports Bar, inside the Clubhouse Racebook, 711 Central Avenue, Albany.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. The Handicapper Report coming to you live from the backstretch of Saratoga Race Course on a beautiful Whitney Day morning. A great card. Remember, post time 30 minutes earlier, 12:35. We're up to the fifth race. And here it is, as I talk about it often, the scheduled juveniles going 7 furlongs on the dirt right outside of the now green and white pole.
That time of year. Local connections in here with West Point Thoroughbreds being kind of Saratoga based. And I meant to mention in the last race, always like to mention the locals, and Eddie F's Racing has Dream Point in the fourth, which we just talked about a few minutes ago. I like to root for Eddie F's though. And again, with the stand on track now, you can grab some clams or a lobster roll on track, but they have the restaurant in town as well. But Eddie has a number of nice horses with Gary Siaka. Dream Point in the fourth. Going to be rooting for that one. As I say, West Point has Brigadier General in here. I use that one underneath. I have it 5, 2, 7, and 8. Big Skipper. Paid well over $500,000 for this horse. There's a sibling called Summer Reading that was second in debut and then won the second career start. More importantly, there was a sibling called Queen's Speech that won pretty easily in debut at the Curra last year, but it was at this 7 furlong trip. So that really attracted my attention. Chad Brown, Peter Brandt, as I say, they paid a decent amount of money for this one. I just thought Big Skipper at a 6-1 morning line was very intriguing with my nature and nurture angle. A trainer who can have them ready and a little bit of intriguing win early breeding. We'll put 5 on top. Brigadier General, experience counts, and this one certainly looked very nice in the debut effort, running second with a decent little 2-year-old June buyer of 70 for Dallas Stewart and West Point, and then Stellar Tap by Tappet. Goes out for Steve Asmussen. If you didn't see the news, couple of notes from yesterday. Steve Asmussen tied with a win at Ellis late in the day yesterday, tied the all-time win mark set by Dale Baird. So Steve Asmussen win today moves him into the category of all-time winningest trainer, which is incredible, seeing that he has plenty of wins still ahead. But Chad Brown yesterday got career milestone win number
like
2,000.
Halftime of his career.
You would think, yeah. But Chad with a career milestone 2,000 in the finale yesterday. So a couple of notables yesterday. But
You know he was a jockey?
Yeah. I had him on before, and we talked a little bit about that. I'm sure that would make people. Yeah. Steve Asmussen we're talking about, not Chad, but Steve Asmussen was a jockey. Stellar Tap for Steve Asmussen with a little bit of breeding, and he can have them ready as well. 5, 2, 7, and 8.
Similar to me, I think Big Skipper he's at least the second Arrogate to run here, but I'm just taking a flyer on the 10 horse here for Anthony Dutrow and Javier Castellano. Offspring a Tappet on the outside going 7/8. So you have 10-7-2 for me.
Yeah, you're right for newer fans. I was going to say younger fans, but it may just be slightly newer fans because it was a while ago. Steve Asmussen was a jockey, but they also might not remember his brother was a fabulous jockey, Cash.
Tremendous.
Had a great career over here, and when the weight started to go up a little bit, he went over and had a great career over in Europe.
I'd say he was like 79, I think Steve was like 81. Cash was terrific in New York.
Yeah, absolutely. Sixth race this afternoon starts the stakes action. The restricted lure, $120,000 up for grabs as they will travel 1 1/16 miles on the trip.
And because of the nature of the conditions of the lure and tomorrow's De La Rose, they can't be graded, but they are graded stakes. They are graded stakes. They're restricted by the conditions of not winning a graded sweepstake this year, but 2, 3, 5. Oh, we're in the same ballpark here. We've just flipped it around. And matter of fact, as you can see, Seth, I switched.
Went back.
I originally had 3, 2, but I just thought they were so close in my opinions. I wanted the longer price because that's how I think about it. I'm inside here with Jose Ortiz coming out of the Forbidden Apple. These two, where Rinaldi was down the road for Jimmy Bond, who was so hot at the beginning of the meet. I like Rinaldi, and they made Rinaldi was the chalk, which kind of surprised me with the wagering. But this is all to me. The top 3 here kind of separate themselves from the rest, but Delaware is the one that I'm going to because he's a longer price than value proposition. And then Chad Brown's other runner, the 5 in here, and Tacitus and MTO in here. Doesn't win too often. I was looking at that. The Suburban is his lone win. I always bet against him because he takes money, but he was in here, MTO. You have it. You just took value proposition on top.
Yeah, I think we can safely say Tacitus will not be running today. It's
No.
a gorgeous day today. I have a 3, 2, 5, and 7. I thought the 11 was a little bit interesting as well, Dreams of Tomorrow. But yeah, it looks like the Chadfecta here. I went with value proposition, but I don't disagree at all. I think these top 2 are very evenly matched, value proposition in Delaware. Flavius, a good second. In the last race, the Seek Again down at Belmont, I think has the horse set up to run well this afternoon. And again, if you're looking for alternatives, Tell Your Daddy from Tom Morley, I think on a best effort as a player in Dreams of Tomorrow for Shug, I think could also be one to consider. But I have it 3, 2, 5, and 7.
Just to show you how it works, I did the handicapping before the morning line came out. Then when the morning line came out, I saw 2-1, 9-2. That my rules are. I thought they were just about even. On to the 7th race for the first time at 12 furlongs. Fillies and Mares, the Grade 2, 3 turns to Glens Falls.
And you do have to be flexible at the track. You know, a lot of times we handicap a couple days ahead. You have to be even more flexible. But Lexingtonian was the perfect example of that.
I loved the year before. Not that matters. The year before in the Vanderbilt, Whitmore act out, he scratched.
I mean,
at 30 plus to 1,
you look at that
you're
price
like,
and
he's live.
So again, especially up here with the big crowds and the big pools,
tremendous job. Came back on the inside, looked like he was half the size of Special Reserve, and great win.
No question
I
about
mean,
it.
I'm not a believer in Ozies, but maybe he was not owed a Grade 1. No, rarely are you owed a Grade 1, but after last year, not getting a chance. Went out to California, lost by a nose in the Bing Crosby. So what do you like in the?
I have a 3, 5, 6, and 2. I put Warm Lake Goddess on top for Bill Mott. Hasn't been seen since April, but a lightly raced 4-year-old, and certainly the races this year seem to show improvement. The last couple nice stakes wins, Gulfstream and Keeneland. I think this is a budding, very, very nice turf filly for the Mott barn. My sister Nat goes out for Chad Brown, well-bred and has run very well throughout the career, but only 3 wins in 17 starts, is right in the thick of things and is facing some of the best throughout the career, so I wouldn't argue against anyone using My Sister Nat. And Dalika, we talked a little bit about it yesterday. I like this one in the RG Dick at Delaware last time. She got it done there for Al Stahl. She had a decent little season down at the fairgrounds earlier this year, and that was kind of part of the reason why I liked her last time. But I mentioned when I was doing the handicapping show that day, I said, watch some of these stakes at Delaware because they tend to make players in stakes races up at Saratoga, and that was true of the R.G. Dick Memorial last time, as we have a few coming out of that one. But I'll put the Lika in the mix, 3, 5, 6, and 2.
And if we had 10 extra minutes, not 10 fewer minutes, as I mentioned to our audience yesterday, is go watch the Robert G. Dick Memorial. I mean, for it to be labeled soft, and I've seen enough races. It looked like summertime good to firm. So, I mean, soft is really, I just didn't get that. And I didn't have, and I won't be playing horizontals, but boy, Temple City Terror would better my third place rating in horizontals. I was ready to pull the trigger on Temple City Terror, but I'm telling you, you watch the last furlong and a half of the Bewitch, and I mean, the running line doesn't even do it justice how much she was just like, get out of the way, just exploded, made it look too easy, and I just didn't think Temple City Terror could run that big in here, but boy, it's 3-1-2, and I'm leery of, I think Temple City Terror is going to be a better price than 6-1. If the horse was, I would have bet her higher.
One of not only my favorite races every year, but really one of the big races up here every year. And if you go back and look at some of the editions of the test, it has wound up to be one of the best races up here every year. The Grade 1 test. These are 3-year-old sprinting fillies going 7 furlongs. And remember, when in 1991 they added the 5th week, people were thinking, what would be a Saturday race? And it was the test. The test got the Saturday. It used to be the second day of the meet. And here's one for you. There has been a 2-year-old filly stakes race on opening day our whole life. I think the last time there wasn't, I think the test was the feature on opening day. Opening day? Oh, okay. I think when Number to Count won it. I think the Schuylerville was day 2. I think the test was day 1. 4-7-6. And I thought about this, and did I think obligatory would be up against it too much, going 7-8, but, and I'm closers and everything, but boy, I thought Seth in the Acorn, that last 1/8 of a mile, she was running so well coming out of the 8 bells. I just wanted to go back to her again. I mean, I wanted to go to Make Mischief, who's 12-1 in here. She's not on your board. Search Results didn't change leads in the Acorn, but was still good enough. I mean, this is just super. This is Always Karina, who was probably the short price. I mean, I was more against. I'd almost be interested in taking a head-to-head. Always Karina at 3-1 and Make Mischief at 12-1. But at the end, I just thought maybe this is the spot for obligatory for Juddmonte. It's my charity play of the day. It's a wide open race. It's, to me, because I have Make Mischief in it, it's 4 or 5 deep. But Search Results coming out of the Grade 1 victory in the Acorn has only lost in the Kentucky Oaks, is the horse to beat in here. And for third, I have Make Mischief coming out of the Mother Goose. I wonder if it is wide open, or does Search Results just have the real edge in here? And I'm going to be interested to see where the betting public goes.
We don't have enough time today.
I mean, their only blemish is that crazy good Kentucky Oaks.
And yes, but and I'm not a big one on Buyer Speed figures. It's like they're all shoulder to shoulder.
Right, but I just wonder. I mean, I think she's vying for leadership of the division, really, with Malathat, and so. I just think class-wise she may have the edge. We'll find out more today. But on the Buyers, you're absolutely right. And that's why I'm interested to see where the betting public is going to go here. But I think she has the edge. Always Karina, though. Boy, this is a horse with a lot of talent. Cuts back to the 7. I think that's going to be beneficial. She becomes very, very, very interesting to me. And then I do have obligatory in the 3rd spot off the close-up second to Search Results last time. So, yeah, Always Karina, obligatory. I think their players certainly are looking at the numbers with Search Results. As I say, I'm going to be interested to see where the betting public goes. Because this may prove my theory that they focus on the Buyers. Because to me, Buyers to me, tool in the toolbox. I think what she's done so far puts her a little bit ahead of this field. But on the numbers, we'll see what the betting public does.
I just want to, this is the wrong show to be tight on time. How about these for the last Buyer Speed figures of the runners? 95, 96, 94, 94, 92, 95, 94. She sticks out? Good luck to that. I mean, she might be, but I'm just like, I don't know that I've ever seen a horse race where the Buyer's speed figures.
And again, I rely on the Buyers, but they're a tool in the toolbox. For me, they're a big tool, so I'm right with you. I just think she's and I will say we didn't really mention Super Sensational for Mark Cassie, who comes out of the nice win in the Victory Ride.
We didn't even talk about the horse who has the best, most recent Buyer's speed figure, winning the Mother Goes. We're tight on time today. This could be a 90-minute show, not a 50-minute show. Take our next break before we get to the three-year-olds on the turf.
Welcome to the West. I'm Scott Varley at Saratoga's latest and greatest high-rise luxury condo. Starting in the mid-fives, every condo here has 2 bedrooms and 2 baths and upgrades just like this. Check out these oversized private balconies. We also have a gym, a private lounge, and get this, a heated parking garage. To make a reservation for your private condo at the West, call or text me. I'm Scott Varley at 518-281-6808.
Capital OTB is now streaming live on Roku. The RTN Racing channel on Roku lets you watch OTB TV live through your Roku device or your Amazon Fire Stick, rather than being limited to computers and mobile devices, which means you can now watch OTB live wherever you are. Simply open Roku, scroll to find the RTN channel, then click on OTB TV. OTB TV on Roku. Try it now.
Come on.
I want sales reports on my desk by Monday.
Whoops. My bad.
Love racing? RTN brings you every live simulcast on your home television, plus live video streaming and race replays on your PC and mobile devices. To order, visit rtn.tv. RTN, a breed apart.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, up to race number 9. And I've noticed, because I've always liked this distance, Seth, because they start at the top of the stretch, a mile 3/16 on the main turf course. We don't run it anymore. Really, the last year I think we ran it 3 times. It was the Derby and the Oaks, and I think there was an allowance race. And I don't think we've run it yet at this meet, except here, because remember at Saratoga, you go from a mile 3/16, you have to make the jump to a mile 3/8. Because of the turn factor. So I always like the top of the stretch turf races. We just don't run it. We do run the Grade 1 Saratoga Derby Invitational, though, at 9.5 furlongs.
I went 6, 11, 4, and 9. I just, I looked and looked, and I just couldn't get past Bolshoi Ballet, how well that one ran in the Belmont Derby. So I landed back on that horse. Ryan Moore scheduled to come back over. And for folks who don't watch international racing, Aidan O'Brien and Ryan Moore, 2 of the top amongst the
Mount Everest and Kilimanjaro.
The Europeans. So you have a super potent team, a horse that's in good form, off an American win already. And so I tilted in that direction. I thought King Fury was interesting. And again, I'll have Ken McPeak on a little bit later, and we'll talk about this. I think given the quarantine situation, this may be plan B for King Fury. But boy, that comeback in the Lexington, I just kind of jumped on his bandwagon earlier this year. The Ohio Derby was, I thought, okay behind Masca Parade. He could be interesting. If he takes to the turf, very intriguing. Cadillac, off the nice win last time at the Curragh, I think is going to be an interesting player in here as well. The Euro see that $1 million up for grabs. Should mention that, 2 $1 million races on the card. How many times does that happen anywhere outside of Breeders' Cup Day? So hats off to the folks at Nairo, but Cadillac from Europe in the mix as well. 6, 11, 4, and 9.
Million isn't what it used to be. Remember the Arlington Million, how it was like 3 times. We should have started this show at 8 o'clock in the morning, Seth. I probably still would have run long, though. Bolshoi Ballet, I rooted for him on the day that Galileo passed, and hours later he won the Belmont Derby. He's the horse to beat in here. But I have to say, Mark Cassie, you and I are dancing together here with Tyler Gaffleone on the 3 coming out of the Belmont Derby, inside, steadied, wide, everything at better than 15-1. We're going to be inside of Bolshoi Ballet. Remember, we got a long as we could have run to get some position into the first turn. And I hope they're running. I mean, I hope there are actually some horses out there going in front, but I have the 3 on top here at a big upset over Bolshoi Ballet, who was very, very good in the United States debut as the I think they won both. Didn't Nate O'Brien won both the Belmont Oaks and everything?
Right.
And then de jour, making the second start since May 1st for Bill Mott, coming out of a 4th place finish. I have to radically improve there. And how about Soldier Rising, formerly trained by the great Andre Fabre? I mean, I could do 20 minutes on this race alone, but we must move on.
The 10th
Seth has
featured
a riding crop over here to make sure I hit the marks for him.
And again, if you weren't at the top of the show, I'm going to try to start racing across America just a little bit early because we have, the trainers have a time thing going, Brett Calhoun and Kenny McPeak. So we will hopefully just, a couple of minutes early, not majorly. But the Whitney highlights, obviously, the Saratoga card, one of the highlights every year of the Saratoga season. Grade 1 event, also $1 million up for grabs. They will travel 9 furlongs.
Give you $100 if you can tell me the last 4 fillies to run in the Whitney, because obviously there's a stumbling block in there.
Maybe
take a moment.
Maybe Lady Secret.
Well, you get the 2 real easy ones, then the sort of easy one, and then the money shot. I'll give you a moment here. This is a terrific 5-horse field, and I don't often say it. You're not going to get it. I appreciate your.
I'm thinking maybe with sugar and spice, maybe.
I can tell you. No, I can tell you what year. See, that's how. We'll get to it in a minute.
Right.
This is a terrific race. I'm going to blow through 11 and 12. I think it is. I don't love it. I think it's the 2 horses. I think it's Dix Go and Maxfield. Who do you think will be the betting favorite? I think Maxfield is going to be the betting favorite.
I don't know.
I was shocked it was 6-5, 8-5.
I
hope you're right. I hope
I kind of
Maxfield
said the same thing to somebody, but the more I looked, I just think in a 5-horse field,
it's going to be
folks are going to look at that pace
Go.
advantage, and I think he'll take the action.
Well, here's hoping. Maxfield, today is the day. Today is the day to break through from what we all thought at the 2-year-old season, and let's go. And he's my top play. By my standards, no one wins this race that surprised me. By my standards, I think is a major player here as the longest shot on the board. You're not going to get it. But to me, it is a 5-horse race. And I don't often take low-price horses, but I'm in Maxfield's case. I actually thought he was so-so in the Stephen Foster and got a 103. He can't be so-so today.
When Brad Cox, and I had him in here earlier, and I kind of asked, I said on the handicapping show that day, I think they sent him out to the Cornhusker as a little bit of a confidence builder. You go to Prairie Meadows with a horse like this and just looking for a confidence builder. And after the race, I said, mission accomplished. And I think it absolutely was. Brad said he appreciated the return to 2 turns. He's going to get that, obviously, today. I just think in a short field, he just seems to have such a pace advantage in here. But I'm with you. I'm a back and forth here. I looked at Maxfield and wanted to use Maxfield, and I just thought pace-wise I just couldn't get past Nick's Go. But Maxfield is right there. Silver State, this is I'll be interested to see what he goes off at. You have a horse riding a 6-race win streak coming out of a win in the Met Mile, and on the morning line, he's the 3rd choice in a field of 5. He's 6 to 1, 4 to 1 on the morning line.
It's tremendous.
Swiss Skydiver with a big win last year in the Alabama, the win over Authentic, who went on to win the Breeders' Cup Classic last year, had the win over that one in the Preakness.
That's when
by
people
my
beat
standards.
Authentic last year. He's it.
It's just it's a field of 5. But you couldn't ask for a better edition of this one. 4, 5, 2, and 3.
Very infrequently is it not about the mutual windows. And maybe you can cut out a way and make it even work here. But today it's about a sporting event. It's about an athletic contest.
And that happens often. Not necessarily often, but that happens up here at Saratoga. We get races where it's like, this isn't a real betting event, but man, I can't wait for it.
Let's throw down.
Yeah.
And I'll give you a hint. Bill Shoemaker wrote it. On to the 11th. We'll go through these quickly. It was 1987. Optional claimers in for 89. What is the 2 other than mile and an 8?
I have it 1A, 5, 8, and 2. I put Musical Heart on top. Talk about pace advantage. I think this one, stepping out of Stakes Company with the early speed, may be able to dominate here. Empty Tomb, also with some positional speed. Tried the Foster last time, gets back to a better spot here. And Chestertown for West Point and Steve Asmussen. First time gelding symbol showing here. A better effort. We'll put that one in the hunt. I have it 1A, 5, 8, and 2.
Risk taking 6 to 1. That's all for me. I am 3, 5, 2.
Yeah, I had some check marks there. I may have whipped there. The 12th and final, scheduled to go up just a little before 7 p.m. in the evening. This is your get-out race. Allowance non-winners of 1 types going 5.5 on the grass.
10-6-3, ladies and gentlemen, for me, and I am on the outward side. Bay Storm making the 3rd career start. First one of the year, takes on winners for the first time. For second, Risky Mischief, who may be better this rating in the seasonal debut. And for third, in between the MTOs, number 3, Sussex Garden Blinkers on second time this season, second time United States. And the winning answer is Seldom Seen Sue, 1987 against Java Gold. Gold show. Great renewal of the year in between the fillies winning it.
One of the better Whitney memories for me was Aladar stepping in and winning and kind of setting up the year.
J.O. Tobin drifting on the turn, comes up on the inside and just demolishes Elders. And people forget, he wasn't coming out of the Belmont Stakes. I believe he was coming out of a stakes record performance in Chicago. It wasn't the Belmont to the Whitney. He had a race in Chicago. Wrap it up. I don't want to
6, 3, 7, 9. I will put Risky Mischief on top. It's been awful while for Jeremiah, but if this horse comes back ready to run, in the mix. 6, 3, 7, and 9 in the finale.
All right, time for the good people at DePaula for the DePaula play of the day. So we'll go to a quick break, and when we come back, Steve Pick.
Welcome to Albany County, an incredible destination to live, work, and play, with easy connections to more than a dozen cities from our vibrant modern airport. It's a short trip downtown to a hive of culture and amusement, from world-class shows at the newly renovated Times Union Center to reliving the past at the New York State Museum. From outdoor recreation to shopping to nightlife, Albany County has something for everyone. We'll see you soon.
Birdstone is an outside front. They're coming down to the finish. Can Smarty Jones hold on? Here comes Birdstone. Birdstone surges past. Birdstone wins the Belmont Stakes. In front, but here comes High Chaparral. High Chaparral, the defending champ, to take it to Bob. These two arch rivals head to head with Joe Hart bearing down on them. It's going to be a 3-horse photo finish in the turn. Here's the wire. Photo finish.
The Capital Region has some of the most sophisticated horse racing fans in the country. That's why Capital OTB built the Clubhouse Racebook. Here you can wager year-round on the best horse racing from around the world. The Clubhouse also has monthly promotions including live bankrolls, handicapping contests, and so much more. Like sports? Watch your favorite teams on more than 30 screens in Legends Field Sports Grill. Food, sports, and the excitement of championship horse racing only at the Clubhouse Racebook, 711 Central Avenue, Albany.
At DePaula, we think of our customers as family, so we want your experience to be fair and easy. Family owned since 1980, DePaula means quality and convenience, along with concerned and certified technicians. So come join the family and thank DePaula for all your automotive needs. At DePaula, we think of our customers as family, so we want your experience to be fair and easy. Over $2 million in original factory parts means you receive the very best for any make or model. So come join the family and thank DePaula for all your automotive needs.
It's post time for today's DePaula Play of the Day.
Welcome back. It is time for the DePaula Play of the Day, and on a Saturday, that means our friend Steve Bick. Steve, good morning.
Seth, good morning. Anthony, good morning.
Beautiful day, trackside, Steve. I mean, great card, great weather.
It's Whitney Day. I don't know how much more you could ask. Yesterday's tremendous Hall of Fame ceremonies. How about the confluence of victories and what do you call putting people in the Hall of Fame?
Induction.
Yes, induction. Thank you. I was going to say something really nuts.
Indictment?
Yeah, it's you've had yesterday Steve Asmussen tie Dale Baird for the all-time win mark. You had Chad Brown win his 2000th race, You had, all these things happening at once. Then, Todd Pletcher, Mark Cassie, American Pharaoh, on and on. The Wise Dan. It was really, I thought, a wild day Friday that sets things up for, Whitney Day, which is one of the most popular days on the calendar. Even old-time Saratoga, the first big Saturday. I was talking about that with Dick Powell on the radio Thursday. It's terrific, and the weather's cooperated after a little bit of surprise rain early this morning, and everything should be absolutely perfect for this afternoon. Let's dive into the DePaula play of the day, and I've got a real stab. And when I was writing up the Saratoga Derby for my own analysis that I put up, I made the remark that it was hard to get past the imports, the invaders that were coming for the Saratoga Derby. And of course, that means Cadillac from Harrington and from Bolshoi Ballet with Aidan O'Brien, even Charlie Appleby with the Godolphin Secret Protector. And then there's Joseph O'Brien with State Abreast. But then I realized, wait a minute, there's another invader here. There's a French invader, Soldier Rising, on the rail, gets Ortiz. Christophe Clement has been working him along since Belmont, and this is a horse that is underexposed. We don't really know what Soldier Rising is, other than being a Frankel and other than being a horse that was identified for purchase for Michael Dubb and Sal Cumin and, the gang of thousands. I think this horse is very interesting. The work tab is really encouraging and feels like a horse that at 12-1, I don't know if he's good enough to win, but I don't think he's going to run a C race. It feels like Clement and the connections have been pointing for this, and it's a clever group. I'm going to play around with Soldier Rising. I think Cadillac's the most likely winner, but Soldier Rising, 12-1, and you might get better than that. Feels like a good key horse in the Saratoga Derby. That's why I've made him the DePaula play of the day.
I like it, and plays of the day have been doing very well. We have a play of the day team, and they have been collecting on your plays if they hit the board, and so we appreciate the thoughts this morning for this afternoon, and we'll see you maybe this afternoon, but definitely see you in here tomorrow for Loose on the Lead. It'll be our annual Matisse Brothers visit, so we're looking forward to that. But Steve, good luck this afternoon.
Good luck to you guys. Good luck, everybody. We'll see you out there trackside.
Sounds good.
Well, that wraps it up, ladies and gentlemen. Doesn't get any better than this. A great card, great weather. He stays, I go. Have a great Whitney Day 2021.
You've been watching the Handicappers Report. The Handicappers Report has been brought to you by Pinnell's Restaurant, a Saratoga tradition since 1922. 284 Jefferson Street, Saratoga, just minutes from the track. The new Capital OTB wagering platform. Bet any place, anytime with the new Capital OTB wagering platform. And CapitalOTBBet.com, the premier wagering site in New York State.